Hello everyone and welcome back to STW Sports, and I'm back. Yes, I've made my return to the channel, and on my returning video I'm going to be reacting to my 2020-21 Premier League table predictions from the start of the season. If you don't believe any of them, the link is in the description for that video as well, but there's not really many that are that unbelievable, to be honest, so I don't really think that would be worth doing. There's just one or two that were a little bit far-fetched, but other than that though, yeah, they're quite realistic, to be fair. But yeah, let's build up anyway. I'm going to go from 20th all the way to 1st. In 20th place, I put West Bromwich Albion. They actually finished in 19th. I mean, they always looked like they were going to get relegated, West Brom. Slaven Bilic was sacked by Christmas. It wasn't a good season for the Baggies at all. They will be making an instant return to the Championship. But, yeah, I mean, the one place off, but it wasn't a good season for West Brom, really. I always thought they were going to go down. Sam Allardyce came in to replace Bilic, but they had a little bit of a manager bounce. They drew away at Liverpool. They won away at Wolves, but overall, though, yeah, it wasn't a good season at all for West Brom. Convincingly relegated, and they returned to the Championship. In 19th place, I put Burnley. Now, this one was quite a surprise to many people, but my thinking behind this was Burnley never signed anyone over the summer other than Dale Stephens, and Dale Stephens hasn't even played anyway, so he's not really, featured to make the team any better. So, really, Burnley have got pretty much the same team they did the previous season, so I thought it would catch up with them. It didn't. They finished 17th, but that 17th was 11 points clear, I believe, of 18th, so fair play to Burnley. Sean Dyche continues to work wonders at the club. And yeah, I do fear for them when he leaves, whenever that may be. But I think he'll stay for next season at least. But yeah, Burnley have done it again. They also ended Liverpool's 4-year unbeaten run at Anfield, so a good achievement for them there. But yeah, they stayed up, and pretty convincingly in the end as well. So yeah, fair play. I got this one wrong. In 18th place, I had Sheffield United. They actually finished 20th, of course. Yeah, I got this one. I got the right they got relegated, but I didn't think it'd be as convincing as it was. I was one of the only people who didn't really fall for the hype last season. Don't get me wrong, they had a fantastic season, 9th place finish. No one thought that. But, I just thought second season syndrome would catch up with them. They don't have a Premier League quality team, with all due respect to them. They signed Ryan Brewster, really hoping he'd score goals. It just didn't happen. He didn't get a single goal during the season. That was a big downfall for them. They lost a lot of games like 1-0, 2-1, so there's the odd goal in it, but they just didn't have that quality going forward, which they did last season. But yeah, overall they finished 20th, rock bottom. It was a terrible season for them. Chris Wilder's now gone. Whoever they appoint in the Championship is going to be very important for the club as well. I personally think they should have kept Wilder, but they haven't. So yeah, I got right to get relegated, but again, I got their actual position wrong in the table. In 17th place, I had Newcastle United. They actually finished 12th, which is a good finish overall, but it doesn't tell the whole story. Newcastle haven't had a great season. Only at the end did they start to put a good run of results together. And to be fair, they've stayed up quite convincingly when you look at it. 12th place finish. If you offer Newcastle fan that at the start of the season, they probably would have taken it. But yeah, 17th, 17th I put, they finished 12th, so I did get it wrong in the end. I thought they'd stay up, and they did a lot more convincingly. But Joe Willock, on loan from Arsenal, also had a fantastic end of the season. Just a shame now he will be going back to Arsenal. Maybe for him as well, because I think he would have played more at Newcastle, but still, yeah, they stayed up in the end, so fair play, but I still don't think Steve Bruce will be the manager at the beginning of next season. In 16th place, I had Crystal Palace. Now, this was on the knowledge of Wilfried Zaha would leave the club. He didn't. He stayed in the end, so fair play. They finished 14th. A pretty typical Palace season, really. They never really looked in too much relegation trouble. Yeah, fair play to them. They had a really good start, and yeah, they were pretty much solid throughout the entire campaign. Yeah, Roy Hodgson's now leaving the club, so it'll be interesting to see who replaces him. Their previous manager before Hodgson was actually Frank de Boer, believe it or not, who lasted just 4 Premier League games in charge. Crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm going to say that they had a decent enough season. They finished 2 places higher than I thought they would. But yeah, fair play Palace, and fair play Hodgson as well for a good managerial career. And yeah, hopefully he enjoys his retirement. In 15th place, I had Aston Villa. Villa actually did a lot better than this. They finished in 11th, but they finished 10 points clear of 12th place. So really, it was a very convincing finish. The league was near enough split in 2 with a top 11 and then the rest of the teams who were in the relegation battle. But no, fair play though to Villa. They had a fantastic start to this season. That amazing 7-2 win against Liverpool. But yeah, they had a pretty disappointing end in a way. They beat Chelsea on the final day, but they had moments in the season where they did slack off a bit. Jack Grealish getting injured certainly didn't help them. But yeah, good season for Villa, considering they just about stayed up last season. 11th place isn't a bad finish and something for them to build on. And I must say, their recruitment in the summer was absolutely fantastic. And in my opinion, the reason they had such a good season, especially Emiliano Martinez from Arsenal. In 14th place, I put Fulham. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought they'd do so well, Fulham. I mean, from the minute I put this prediction, then I watched them in their opening game away at home to Arsenal, 3-0 loss. I thought, why do I think Fulham are going to do so well? I guess I just kind of got blinded by the fact Mitrovic, I thought he was going to score a lot of goals. I thought Scott Parker was going to do really well as manager. They actually won 5 games all season, Fulham, and they finished 18th. They got relegated. I don't know why I put 14th, to be honest. It was a little bit of a naive prediction, that one. So yeah, they got relegated, and this was a very silly prediction from myself. In 13th place, I put West Ham United. It's fair to say I got that one wrong as well, but let's be honest, who predicted West Ham would finish 6th? So yeah, they actually finished in a Europa League place. No one said that at the start of the season. What a job David Moyes did. January signing of Jesse Lingard was excellent as well, very surprisingly. So yeah, West Ham have just surprised everyone this season. They've had such a good season though, so fair play to them. I was never going to get this one. I thought they'd do a bit better than last season, but I thought 13th, a steady season. Wasn't the case. They finished 6th. It's been a brilliant season for them. Will they keep it up next season? I don't think they will personally, but we will wait and see. In 12th place, I put Brighton and Hove Albion. I was really convinced by Brighton at the beginning of the season. I just really like Graham Potter. I like his style of play. I just think they missed a striker who's going to score 15, 20 goals. I mean, Welbeck, Mopai and Connolly, they're just not them strikers who are going to get you so many goals. But yeah, I mean, fair play to them. They actually finished 16th in the end. It's not a great finish overall, but I don't know, I just thought they'd do better, Brighton. I was really optimistic for them at the beginning of the season. 16th, they were in a relegation battle, but they pretty convincingly did stay up in the end. And I'm glad as well, because they're a good footballing team. I do like Brighton as a Premier League side. They are good. I just thought they'd do a little bit better, maybe finish a bit higher up the table. But yeah, in the end, though, they settled for 16th, even though I said 12th. In 11th place, I had Leeds United. Leeds actually finished 9th in the end. Very good finish for them. Yeah, fair play, Leeds. What a season they've had. A little bit too open at times. I mean, I remember their 6-2 away at Man United, especially when I was really thinking they were a bit too open. But look, you can't really fault them. They've had a brilliant season, Leeds. 9th place finish, top half as well. Yeah, nothing else to really say. They've had a good season. Patrick Bamford's proved a lot of his doubters wrong. They've won away at Man City. Yeah, they've had a brilliant season overall, so fair play to them. I was 2 places off, but there's not a lot of difference between 9th and 11th, but Leeds did do a little bit better than I thought they would. In 10th place, I had Leicester City. Now, my thinking behind this was they ended last season so badly, they collapsed in the Champions League race, and also as well, they were going to have the Europa League to contend with. Jamie Vardy, of course, as well, was turning 34. I just thought Leicester wouldn't have a good season. I thought Brendan Rodgers would really struggle and they'd only get 10th. It wasn't the case, but they had a pretty identical season to last season where it seemed impossible they were going to bottle top 4, but they managed to do it. They were 2-1 up against Spurs on the final day. They ended up losing 4-2. I don't know, really. I don't know what to say about it. Leicester, an identical season. They did much better than I thought they would. They've had a lot of injuries, to be fair to them as well. They handled the balance of Europa League and Premier League quite well as well, so Brendan Rodgers done a fantastic job and they still deserve credit, and of course they won the FA Cup, so take nothing away from Leicester. They've done really well. They've done much better than I thought they would anyway. In 9th place, I put Southampton. I really thought Southampton were going to have a great season, and to be fair, they started brilliantly. They were actually top of the league for about a day in November, so again, this is wrong because they actually finished 15th and it was a pretty unconvincing season for them in the end, especially from when they lost 9-0 again. They lost to Manchester United at Old Trafford 9-0, and from that game onwards, they've just completely gone downhill. If they didn't have such a good start to the season, they could well have been relegated, Southampton. They're lucky they got so many points on the board at Christmas. But yeah, I really thought they'd have a good season. I was a big fan of Ralph Hasenhüttl. I still am, but at the same time, though, I do think there needs to be something happen over the summer because their confidence right now is down. If they have a bad start to next season, I really think Hasenhüttl will go. So ultimately, they didn't do as well as I thought they would, but still, they stayed up, 15th place. It's not so bad, but yeah, that 9-0 loss against United completely ruined their season. In 8th place, I put Everton. Now, Everton were 8th going into the final day of the season, but they got thrashed 5-0 by Man City, and they actually finished 10th. Everton had such a good start to the season, people were bigging them up for a title race. It's crazy, they had such a good start, it didn't last. They actually ended up finishing 10th, which, to be honest, is pretty underwhelming. They have had a couple of injuries, but overall, though, it's not been a great season for Everton, really. Yeah, they finished 10th, and there's not really much more to say. They won away at Liverpool for the first time in years. They won away at Arsenal for the first time in years, but yeah, nothing to shout about for Everton, to be honest with you. A 10th place finish with a manager like Carlo Ancelotti, and the players they signed in the summer as well. They would have expected better, in my opinion. So a fairly disappointing season for Everton, 2 places lower than I expected. In 7th place, I put Wolverhampton Wanderers. I was going for a hat-trick of 7th place finishes. I was thinking this because they didn't have the European distraction as well this year. They actually finished 13th. It was a very disappointing season for Wolves in the end. Nuno Espirito Santo has now left the club as well. It's got to be said, he's got to go down as a Wolverhampton Wanderers legend, taking them from relegation battles in the Championship all the way to European football, where they got to the quarter-final of the Europa League. What a job Nuno's done there. This next appointment for Wolves is absolutely vital. They need to keep the players at the club they've already got. It could be a dangerous time for Wolves, to be honest. I do really think that if they appoint the wrong person, they could be in a relegation battle next year. It's hard to think that because Wolves only got promoted to the Premier League a couple of years ago, and it feels like, in 2018 that was, but it feels like they've been in the Premier League for ages and ages. But yeah, because they've got to get the next appointment right. 13th place, disappointing season really. A lot of injuries though. I do have sympathy for Wolves. If there's one team who's suffered with injuries, it's definitely them. An underwhelming season overall and a 13th place finish. In 6th place, I put Arsenal. Now, of course, I'm aware Arsenal did win the FA Cup at the end of last season. I still didn't think we'd do that well, though, to be honest. As you can tell, I'm an Arsenal fan by the shirt. Yeah, let's be honest. It was disappointing. They actually finished 8th in the end, Arsenal, for the second season in a row. Not great. They had a terrible start as well. By December, they were pretty much battling relegation, amazingly. Yeah, not a great season. 8th in the end. I thought we'd be a lot stronger. I really thought we'd rely heavily again on Aubameyang. That's not been the case at all. So, yeah. We didn't do great, to be honest. We're not even going to be in Europe next season as well for the first time in my lifetime. But, yeah, I thought 6th. We finished 8th. But, yeah, I did think the 5 teams above us would be very strong. So, 5th place, I had Tottenham Hotspur. Again, I really did not expect Jose Mourinho to get sacked. Ultimately, though, Tottenham, they had a great start to the season, by the way. They were top of the table, I think, in early December. And I really thought this could be the year that Tottenham could do it. They could mount a big title challenge. It never happened. They fell away quite quickly. And they actually finished in 7th in the end. And they will play in the Europa Conference League, which I don't even know what that is, but we're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, Tottenham, I had 5th. They finished 7th. Not a great season really for Tottenham. They sacked the manager as well. They did get to the cup final against Man City, Carabao Cup final, which they lost 1-0. Yeah, disappointing season, you've got to say, if you are Spurs. 7th place. A little bit of European football, I guess, but yeah. Harry Kane, though, fantastic season. In my opinion, the PFA Player of the Year. I don't know, it's close between him and Diaz, actually, but yeah, he certainly could be anyway, Kane. What a season he's had. In 4th place, I had Manchester United. They actually finished in 2nd. A good season for United, a season of real progress. I will give them credit for that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's done a hell of a lot better than I thought he would. Yeah, fair play to them. They actually had a couple of great wins in the season as well, especially the 2-0 away at City they gained. But and was never really convinced with their title charge. They did have a spell when they were top of the table for a couple of weeks in January. I still think they're a few players away, United, from winning the title. But look, they've got a good team and Solskjaer's done a good job there. They've made a lot of progress under him as well. They could win the Europa League later on this week. So, yeah, fair play to United. They had a good season. I thought 4th. I thought they'd be strong, but I still think the 3 teams above them would have been much stronger. So, in 3rd place, I actually had Manchester City. Can't really say I'm proud of this one. My thinking was Liverpool and Chelsea were going to have very strong seasons, the 2 teams that are above them. So I just thought City would fall short. And to be fair, I made this prediction before Ruben Dias was going to come in. So, you know, because of that, I've kind of given myself a little bit of, you know, sympathy there. I mean, the start of the season, it wasn't good. Man City were 14th in the table at one point in November, which is absolutely crazy to think. They had such a disappointing start ready for them, and I think Pep Guardiola made his worst start to his managerial career. There was something misfiring about them early on, but as soon as they got it together, City, they just clicked. They're not the same team they were when they were the Centurions, and they got 98 points the following season, but they're still very good. They won the Premier League, of course. I thought they'd finish third and have a pretty disappointing season. In second place, I put Chelsea. Now, my thinking here was I really banked on Chelsea signings working out. I thought Timo Werner was going to be the Golden Boot winner near enough. I actually thought, you know, Ziyech was going to have a great season. I thought Pulisic would come great on the wing as well. It just didn't happen. I mean, some of their players have been okay, but they are in a Champions League final and they finished fourth. But, I mean, to be honest, it's not been a great season for Chelsea on that whole. They sacked Frank Lampard. Thomas Tuchel came in and has done a very good job so far. But, yeah, I mean, it's not been great, to be honest. Yeah, but if they win the Champions League, it's all forgotten about. That's all I'll say. But if they don't, and they lose the FA Cup as well, it's been a bad season. So really, the game on Saturday against Man City in the final, they've got a hell of a lot riding on it, to be fair to them. So yeah, second, they actually finished fourth. And in first place, I had Liverpool to retain the title. And my thinking was they won it so convincingly last season, even if they dropped off a little bit, they'd be fine. It turns out they dropped off a hell of a lot, and they actually finished third. But to be honest with you, that third doesn't tell the whole story. That at one point, it was looking like they were going to finish way further down. So Liverpool's end of the season really helped me out a little bit here. I could have made mates look like a right mug if it was worse. So yeah, they actually finished third. They didn't win the Premier League again. But yeah, I mean, next season I do think they'll come back. Yes, they've had their injuries, but they also had a very poor mid-season run. They lost 6 games in a row at Anfield, which is crazy. And them losses were to the likes of Brighton, Burnley, Fulham. Also one to Man City and one to Everton, but still. It's disappointing mid-season for them. Yeah, I really thought Liverpool would win it. At one point at Christmas, it was looking like that was going to be the case. They had a massive, massive dip in form, though. That's all I can say. And yeah, they finished third in the end. So that leaves my final score with 0 out of 20. Yeah, I never got a single one right. But, you know, it's one of them things. I mean, nothing I can really say. I got 0 out of 20. Most of the rough positions I did get right, really. The table's not horribly wrong. Bar maybe the Fulham and West Ham predictions, which are together, ironically. It's not too bad. But yeah, that's a wrap anyway. And just to let you know, I've not done my Championship, League One and League Two predictions yet. Because their season's technically on over, the playoffs are still going. I did a prediction on every league. So yeah, when that does come in, I will be doing them as well. But yeah, great start. 0 out of 20. So not great, but you know, fair play. And congratulations to Man City on becoming Premier League champions as well. And I'll be back with more sporting content soon. This weekend, of course, it is the weekend where I'll be going to Wembley Stadium to interview fans ahead of the playoff finals. But yes, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you soon.